This is the April Fool's Day event of War Thunder, or at least it's April 1st. Let's see, we've got Mad Thunder, which I'm not sure how I feel about it. I played a little bit of it earlier today. It's essentially Crossout, which is another Gaijin game, which I think is like a weird choice. It's Crossout with maybe more, I don't know what to call it, like more better physics. Better seems like a weird thing to say, but better physics. Less goals, or rather like the it's one map, one match, one play style, so you're just kind of doing the same thing over and over as far as I can tell. It's not bad by any stretch, but yeah, it's definitely something different. Hey C90, how are you doing? So yeah, it's interesting because like a lot of the vehicles, how do I say this politely? I guess they suck. A lot of the vehicles suck, like a lot. As you can see, like this truck, for example, the Boar. At least the first two versions of it, the gun can't depress forward at all. You can do it at about, maybe 60 degrees from front, which just creates some weird things. Additionally, like that one, the Porcupine, you get a little better, but you essentially have to drive like, if that's the enemy, you have to drive, if that rock's the enemy, you have to drive like at an oblique angle to it the whole time. Add to it, the way you get upgrades is you find piles of crates and shit, and you just like crash into them, which, not a super dynamic game mode, or you blow up people who have crashed into them. And, ends up with like this, with a lot of people chasing crates. Then once you get your parts, you got to drive to the exit point on the map. I think the exit point correlates to whatever spawn point you use. So from this side of the map, the exit point is like in that F7. If you use the other spawn, the like E spawn, I think your exit point is like A4, something like that. And then if you're playing on the other team, your exit points are like G4, and I think it's like B2. So it's roughly parallel. The one thing that I'm disappointed with about this is that people are already finding ways to cheese it. There's little silos throughout the map. They're just kind of like cylindrical buildings. Oh, yay, War Thunder. Little surrender. Yeah, that's okay. There's these little silos, and people have found ways to like clip their vehicles into them, and then they shoot out from them, which I honestly was like having kind of fun with this until I started noticing that happening, and then it pretty much put a bad taste in my mouth. But we'll run it again, just see if it's we get a different vibe. Nice, good. Glad to hear you got the Fox, man. I'm doing well. I'm just trying out this April Fool's Day event. It's part of what I struggle with on this. It's a fun little game. I get why they did it. It's a fun little game. I don't understand why I have to grind out parts and collect parts for something that I'm not getting anything permanent out of. I mean, like, I guess there's cosmetics and shit, but those aren't This is what I mean when I'm talking about you gotta do some weird shit. So someone was firing down the road there. He might have exited already. Yeah, yeah. So there's an exit right here. We can't see it, but the people who need it can. So, like I said, it creates these weird little dynamics. Okay. That vehicle was dead. Good. Now, dead vehicles aren't necessarily bad because if you find a dead vehicle, there's a good chance they've dropped loot. So, like, people who die drop loot. Also, if you kill a vehicle, you get rage tokens, which you need to, like, unlock other vehicles. But, like I was saying, that's the piece where I'm like, I don't quite understand why we're grinding out this shit for, you know, nominally an event. You know, spending... how many hours of play? I don't know how long. It took me about an hour to get this thing upgraded once. So, you know, if that rate stays constant, these are the silos, by the way. Apparently there's ways you can drive your vehicles into these. And then I've had it happen to me twice where I'm just getting shot and I can't figure out from where, and then the hit indicator points to a silo, and then I see in one instance after the guy shot me, he drove out of it before he killed me, so I was able to see him like leaving the silo. So yeah, it's you know, unfortunate. I think that's part of, you know, like they probably couldn't do a whole hell of a lot of play testing before they released it, so, you know, bugs are gonna happen. But yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I feel about the grinding. You know, like because ultimately, you know, I got a goal. I'm trying to get my tanks leveled up, and this just becomes kind of a distraction. So I don't know. So yeah, here's like the porcupine. Actually, I'm gonna take the porcupine out. I'll show you the other exit. So I'll go to this one, and then the exit's gonna be up here, but you'll see that in a second. You can see in that B2, there's a bunch of people who are kind of like, they're ambushing players on the other team who are trying to leave. So they're like camping the exit zone. That one in particular is kind of nasty to get camped on because it's a how do you describe it? It's a gulch, right? Like there's just no way to go except driving straight towards it, you know. I tried, I had a drop off there and I knew a guy was in there, and I tried finding like a way up a cliff and dropping in, and I still had to cross like, say maybe like 50 meters of area. He could have shot me. Luckily he'd been damaged by a previous guy who made the run, so he was like fixing his thing, or he's repositioning, I don't know what he was doing. He wasn't paying attention to me, and I was able to cap. And there's fortunately no like extraction timer or anything, so like as soon as you're in there, you're good. So as you can see, these things don't corner very well, and there's never a guarantee that there's parts in this shit. So that's the other part that's unfortunate, is you end up steering around going to check out crates, and then you find out there's nothing there. Got to break these big ones too. You can shoot them, but so far my experience with shooting crates is that either you just make it easy for your teammates to know what's where, and then they go steal it before you can get it, or the enemy hears you and then they shoot you when you're preparing to leave. So all in all, I've had pretty bad experiences with shooting these things. Alright, so now I'm going to... this is not like a good way to do this. I'm not optimizing this at all. I'm just kind of giving you the tour. Oh, there. See, there you saw it. So this is what the items look like when you find them outside. They just kind of sit like that. Those are, I think those are armor pieces. So yeah, it's not really intuitive what you're finding. And then the other piece that's hard is like there's no way to change what you're carrying. So like I would rather have armor because armor is what you use to like unlock upgrades of vehicles, but you can't drop stuff you've got to pick up other stuff. You just, you know, you have to kind of look at it and then make a decision if you want to pick it up. But in reality, most people are going, you know, 50, 60 kilometers per hour when they grab something, so they don't know what it is. You're just thrilled you got something and didn't get shot, you know. So yeah, ideally, normally I would take this from the other spawn because this gun does better pointing left, and if you go to the other spawn, you're gonna be pointing left a lot more. This run, you know, you point to the right. You can drive down that flat, straight road in the middle. I think one of my first runs, I thought that would be a very smart idea, and it's really like high risk, high reward, right? Like it either works out very well and you don't run into any problems, or you get just destroyed driving down it. This gun's got pretty shitty range, so I'm just doing my best to like stay off of folks' radar here. But we are in a zone where, yeah, shit. I do not want to hit shit. And did I damage myself? I don't think I'm damaged. I think I just lost speed. But yeah, fuck. Okay, he doesn't really want me. I don't really want him. I call that just polite firing at each other. Like, we don't really, neither of us is trying to win or kill the other for parts or shit. We're just firing because we need to. Now this guy down here, we're gonna let him go. He's, fuck, yeah, he's a bore. I should have realized that. He just can't shoot me forward, so he's just waiting to get past me. Now, someone can go over and, you know, grab my shit. Now, we're going to go over here and, because we're getting near the end of the match. In the last minute, every exit becomes a viable exit. So this is, to my mind, like, the best, the Echidna. It's the most, what do you say? How do I describe this? I think it's the most, like, tank-like vehicle out here. Like, it's the one that can be on offense the best. It's got a 40mm Bofors. It can do, you know, depress forward, so you can actually, like, hit things in your forward arc of fire. Which makes it, like, able to actually be used offensively or to snipe with. You know, it fires a big round. It doesn't have a massive reload time. It doesn't carry as much as the Boar. I just drove past some shit that was just laying there, but hey, we're full up anyway, so it don't matter. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go camp that southern exit and just kind of try to get some rage tokens, and then we'll exit once we're in that last minute. But yeah, that's kind of why I saved this one for last, because it's a really good ambush vehicle. And yeah, if you're by the exit, that's a great place to ambush because everyone wants to get off the map. Now, I think smart players have already, are going to do what I'm doing, and they're going to, you know, once you're down to the last minute 40 or whatever, they're going to just go to whatever exit their team controls. But, you know, it's worth it. There's not a small number of not smart players. So, as you can see, oh, it's like minute 30, so everything is opened up already. And looks like we got one coming, but I think in this case, I'm taking just the 25 points I got, and I'm just running with them. There we go. And like you see, as soon as you touch it, you're off the map, so they don't care. Um, and that's how you do it. That's the game core gameplay loop. And then you get your parts, and then you go back to the hangar, and then you see if you can get the next thing you want to get to upgrade. Like I could put the ESS smoke out there. It's funny, I got this thing, but I have no idea what it does. I'm assuming it just lets me know when someone who's killed players is near. This is the next upgrade I'm trying to get because if I get it, it looks like I've got a recoilless rifle on the front of my vehicle, so I can at least have some forward fire on this bore. And then getting down here, there's like the Rhino that looks like an actual tank, and then the Mule, which is just a part collector, which I kind of take issue with this placement because by the time you get to this thing, you've collected enough parts that like why are you like it'd be one thing if they said unlock everything and you get a tank for the game, but there's no vehicle reward. It's just cosmetics. You get this little little name here. You get a little screen unlock. You get a character picture. But none of this is none of this is really meaningful to the main game. Which leaves me in a situation where I'm like, well, if I really wanted that, wouldn't I just go play Crossout? Because that's what Crossout is. Except in Crossout, I have the flexibility to actually like build my own vehicles. If you've not played Crossout, it's a kind of fun game. I played it a while ago, and you essentially build your Mad Max cars, and you go drive and like fight other teams. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say about Crossout than that. That's what the game is. But yeah, it's a fun game. I ended up getting out of it because of the. I realized it's kind of like, I'm sure if I went back and played it, I realized it was like War Thunder, where you want better parts to do better, but then you get better parts, and then you end up facing people who have better builds, and so then you're trying to find ways to like cheese your build. So like you'll build like glass cannons that have huge guns but absolutely no structural ability to take a hit, or heavily armored things that just have no ability to like it's just whatever you're trying to achieve. You end up in this weird place because of how the matchmaking goes. Which it's a Gaijin game. We all play War Thunder. We know how the matchmaker works, and we know the weird things you end up doing because of that matchmaker, right? Like. Now, part of what I do like about the Boar in particular is that it can hit these crates without fully stopping all its shit. You can't say that about all the vehicles. The Porcupine hits one of these things at full speed and it just stops, which is usually awful because, I'm not actually a fan of the Porcupine because it's so light. That A, that happens, you bump something, you stop, but B, when you go over a dune or something, if you're at full speed, you're going to catch air, and when you land, you're probably going to get turned sideways. And that thing does not have the acceleration you would think it should have. So you end up spending a lot of time getting back up to speed, only to then jump another dune and then turn sideways. So like if you see me drive, you might see me do some funny things when I'm driving it, because I'm trying really hard not to. Okay, that wasn't a good example of this thing going through crates, but there we go. 40 vehicle parts. All right, now we're going to make our way to the exit. If you play the non-upgraded version of the Boar, it can collect 50 parts. I went through the trouble of upgrading it, so I'm using it. I don't know if that's actually better or worse. But yeah, it's an interesting game mode. Part of me feels like this is Gaijin like testing a game concept rather than like doing April Fools. You know, I don't know if they're like just they want to see how like a Mad Max game with like physics would work. I don't know what their game is, but like the fact that they're having the grinding component in here, that to me is something that I think like from a game design perspective you do when you want to ensure engagement. You know, you give people the Skinner box. You know, you let them peck the button and get the reward, peck the button, get the reward, you know, so but yeah, I'm not sure why they're doing that unless they want to really make sure people are playing this event, you know, and they're trying to use all those psychological tools. All right, got a teammate just getting a little hammered here, so let's see if we can't help him. Oh shit, he might actually be dead already. Yeah, he's dead. He's not returning fire, and I can't get a good enough depression angle, and I don't know if that guy's alone. So we're gonna just kind of chill up here for a minute. Now that's one thing that I hate about this is the vehicles are all so fucking loud. You know, I could fire on that guy, but again, I don't know if he's alone. Usually people are driving around in 2s and 3s. Let's see if we can't find this guy out here again. Oh shit, I hear a truck up ahead. God damn it. And now we're dead. Because I can't face forward, and... I'm gonna just call out my team, let them know there is a guy up here shooting me. And that is fundamentally why this game mode sucks. Because if you're parked slightly the wrong way, I mean, like, that's just, like... It's like, oh, great, it took me 20 minutes to collect all this shit. I'm trying to exit the map, and then, oh, because I was turned slightly wrong, I'm now dead. And I don't know if Gaijin thinks that's a bug or a feature. Like, you know, maybe they're like, oh, we want the really hardcore Mad Max fans to be out here, but like, it's frustrating and not fun because the game mode isn't kill people. That's the bitch of it, is that like, in theory, we can all drive out here, collect shit, and at least like you can do a lot of upgrading without killing people. Now granted, yeah, you need to kill people, but like for my money, if you're a boar and you're killing a boar, you're playing the game kind of wrong. You know, I only fired on that other boar because I walked into another fight and I was like, well, shit, I don't know what that guy's, you know, if he's already killed one person on my team, and he probably thinks I'm going to back that guy up, which I was going to do, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a goofy, yeah, it's just a goofy thing. And yeah, it's like each match you have your one chance with the boar to actually get like a big haul. And then if that falls apart, then good luck, you know, get what you can, I guess, and then get off the map. But I've played the full, you know, 15-minute matches and gotten absolutely nothing for it. And that's where it just leaves me going, like, why the hell do I have to grind? You know, like, why am I grinding? And it's like, well, okay, probably because they've got nothing else to offer here. Like, the gameplay, the vehicle combat, not particularly fun. Maybe it's fun when you're upgraded. I think what they're doing is they're making the vehicles so bad to use that people get excited at the idea of having vehicles that don't suck. But that's just a time tax, right? Like, they're just making you spend more time to get a fun thing. Which, like, I don't know, like, earlier I was playing this and I was like, I feel like this might sound a little bit like hyperbole, and maybe it is, but I'm like, I feel like this April Fool's event is just teaching me how unfun some aspects of this game can be. You know, which, not a great look on Gaijin, right? Like, we don't want to be teaching people the game's not fun by... Oh, shit, that's me. Get out of here. Sorry, I was trying to empty out my ammo because there is... I can't tell you the number of times I've rolled up on a fight and had like 10 rounds left in my... Sorry, heard a truck or something. I'm just trying to make sure I don't get shot by it. Rolled up on a fight, had like 10 rounds left in my gun, fired them off, and then I get stuck with like a 15 second reload, and there's nothing I can do. Also would really, really love, like, one of the things that, like, they really should, like, I don't know, a way to do this, but, like, if this was co-op, it'd be a lot better, you know? You have one player who's on the gun, one player who's driving, this is better. Because we're going at a speed where, like, me turning the turret to look backwards while driving forwards is a significant, poses a lot of significant, and there's like a lot of little glitchy terrain bugs that like you have to be aware of. The team I'm playing against, one of their spawns, look at that handling, look at that, isn't that beautiful? One of their spawns leads to a downed aircraft, like a, you know, C-130 style craft. But when you drive through it, there's so many little components on the ground, parts of the plane, that if you hit, it will stop you cold. You know, you see that in War Thunder every once in a while, but it's like certain tanks run into that problem. This, it's like, it's just how the vehicles are. I think it's, you know, the nature of a game where most of the vehicles are treaded, and then we're playing this game mode and most of the vehicles are wheeled, and so suddenly yeah, so I don't know, it's interesting. I wanted to just talk a little bit about it. Yeah, C90, I see your question in the chat. I don't know that I'm going to play this all stream. I just wanted to, like, you know, do a little bit of coverage of it, because it's weird, and it, you know, like, I don't know, it's weird to me because it's like, it was like so close to being fun. It's not quite fun, it's not unfun, you know, like, but I think where it gets in my way is, or what gets in my way of like truly enjoying it, is the fact that fundamentally, wait, are you pinging here because there's an enemy? Someone just pinged my area, like there's an enemy here, and I don't understand why they're doing that. Yeah, those are friendlies, guys. You're all friendlies. And yeah, sometimes there's stuff if you blow those up. Sometimes, most of the time not, but that's kind of everything in this game. Alright, so let me give you a little idea of what this thing does. Oh shit, is he getting shot now? So like I said, this is the most offensive vehicle because, look, I can almost depress down a hill. And look, I'm pointing my gun forward. So yeah. I think what I'm gonna do is go up and see if there's any equipment on my old dead truck and grab that, and then I'll come back to the exit. Assuming that doesn't take me more than like 30 seconds to get to my truck. Yeah, there it is. That's the other thing is the time scale of this is weird. Because you think like, oh, I got a minute, that's a lot of time, but not really. There we go. Alright. Because if you have to turn around, heaven help you. Alright, I am kind of tempted just to drive straight down there, but I also am worried that, well, there's a bunch of obstructions, so I'm just not going to do that. I was more worried about the timing, but sounds like an enemy is racing in. There we go. So, got out with 2 truckloads. That's not terrible. But yeah, let's see. I was hoping to get enough to do like a vehicle upgrade and show you what that kind of looks like. Yeah, I'm not going to get that, and oh, I'm so close to that, but yeah, I don't want to use these yet because they're, but yeah, you can see, you know, you upgrade this, it gets a little more armor, upgrade it the second time, it looks like they've got, I'm guessing those are maybe flamethrowers on the front. This one just, you know, it just gets armored. It still stays pretty much the same. It's only got the 1 upgrade. This guy gets recoilless rifle. This guy, I've not used him. I've seen him fight, but I've not used him. Upgraded version, much more armor. And then here he's got, you know, looks like some sort of like rocket pods. This guy looks more like a APC. Looks, you know, probably got pretty decent gun on there. But yeah, and it's just like you've got to go through these sequentially or in order, you know, like, and then you get the Rhino. Be one thing if you could like earn parts and like share them with a group or something, but it doesn't look like there's any features like that. So we'll do one more match just to see if I can get an upgrade. The other piece that's hard is that like you don't have a crew slot for it, so you have to go into this weird way to get into it, which is just annoying to have to do. They're keeping it alive for 20 days, like, yeah, but then at the end it's like, okay, you play 20 days of a game that's going to go away. Like, what's the value there? I don't know. I think for me this is probably well, that wasn't that neat, you know, sort of experience, and then I probably won't play it anymore. It's that was fun. The grind is too much. Like, if I had all the vehicles unlocked and I was making choices about which vehicles I wanted to unlock, and they were all like equally interesting and playable, and, you know, had like asymmetrical but balanced effects, like, yeah, that might be a game I'm interested in playing, you know. But then to have to go through and like, or even if I could choose the vehicles to unlock by spending the parts, you know, and there were just 3 base ones, but the fact you got to go in order, like, it's a linear, uninteresting tech tree that's, I feel like it's just made to get people psychologically invested in the game mode, but like I don't understand why they want people psychologically invested in the game mode. You know, if that's not their goal, they have made some really bad design choices. And I don't feel like Gaijin makes bad design choices when it comes to, especially when it comes to grinding. They might make choices that I personally disagree with or I don't think are the most ethical, but they don't, like, when they're having people grind, they're having people grind for a reason. You know, they're doing, they're purposeful. At least that's the way that they've seen. Now maybe it's just whoever was in charge of the April Fool's thing was like given just a carte blanche, and they decided, yeah, we want to do a grind, and you know, like it never went past that. But yeah, it's just a weird choice. So you know, whatever. I think ultimately it comes down to like, you know, like how burned out are you on the game, right? If you really are just sick and tired of War Thunder, this game mode's probably a fun little break, you know, like, and that's good. But if you're sick and tired of War Thunder, why are they putting a game mode in to tell you that you're sick and tired of War Thunder? Like, you go play this and you have fun. It's like, oh shit, you don't like War Thunder. Like, like what are you doing here? Why do you keep logging in? You know? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, it's interesting in the sense of like a traffic accident is interesting. You know, like I feel compelled to watch. There's a story. This is, you know, important to somebody. I am a witness of that importance. You know, that sort of thing. But this game mode, there's really no importance. Like, the only importance that there is here is that which we ascribe to it as people who are playing the game mode. And that's the piece too that's really fucking annoying, is just, you know, people shoot shit like that, somehow them peeing on it, and that gives them the right to get it. And it's like, dude, you're only shooting it because you can't get to it before me. And all you're doing is telling me whether or not something's there for me to take, you know? Like, it's one thing if I see a guy circling around it trying to pick something up. You know, I know these vehicles aren't fucking great at that. Okay, good, that was a guy exiting. I was like, shit. Sometimes players do that. Someone will sit and they'll guard the exit for their team. On this particular map, on this particular run, that's a big problem. Alright, so now we got this guy with me, we got the boar ahead. Hopefully we can convoy to the exit. The question will be whether or not Condor here... Oh, and we got another guy behind us. The question will be whether or not Condor or the guy behind me have a full load, or if they stop and start looting. Oh, shit. Well, if he didn't have a full load, he's gonna have one now, but damn it. Well, like I was saying, you want a convoy to the exit so that if you get jumped, you got people to fight with you. The problem is, it's War Thunder. People are often not paying attention to what's actually going on, or they'll like, you know, that guy at the front of our convoy, he saw his moment, and he just made his fucking exit. 3 guys came up behind us, but they're more than likely just looking for loot. That was not generous, you know, like, they're like, oh, hey, I don't have to drive around smashing crates. I can just drive to all these dead bodies, and hopefully someone's got some shit for me. So, which is what we're going to go do now. We're just going to drive straight over there and just pick up all the loot that hopefully they dropped. And if they didn't, then we'll loot that little area by them. You know, Porcupine's got speed. That's the nice thing about it. But yeah, it's just, you know, give every fucking vehicle 360-degree aim, or at least like better define their roles. You know, like this one, when I first got it, I was like, oh, cool. It very much looked like a vehicle that, you know, you're supposed to hold choke points with by, here we go, and now we're turned. And now you get to see why this takes for fucking, like, that sucks if you're getting shot at when that happens. You're pretty much fucked. And heaven forbid that that cab face the wrong direction when you land. Because if it does, you are dead. Like, and that's the part of this game where it's just like the fact that, like, you know, at least when you're playing War Thunder, you know, like the vehicles were designed historically to work the way they're working. So if you run into a bad design, it's a bad design because someone built a real fucking tank that was badly designed. Here you run into a bad design, it's because some fucking troll at Gaijin thought, oh, that'd be pretty funny if they can't do this, they can't do, you know, like, and that's the part where it's just like, that's not actually interesting. Like, that's not fun. I don't know what you think you're doing, but you're probably not achieving it unless it's just to annoy people. And I mean, maybe that is the goal. I don't know. I'm not. And that's the other problem, is that these things all fucking drive like they're underwater. Porcupine especially does. Okay, fuck you. Now, I can't tell. Okay, I was like, I can't tell if that's my engine or a guy behind me, but it's definitely a guy behind me. Now, why am I risking myself by going back? And it's because I want to help my team. Maybe it was just my engine. There's no guy there. That's very confusing. I've had that problem happen near these silos where I hear someone and the next thing I know I'm getting shot from them. I've never had it with like a, you know, ledge like that, so. Alright, here we are, just supporting the convoy, but yeah, this thing is... When you lose speed with it, it's so defeating, because it doesn't have any other saving grace, you know. Speed's about all this thing can do. Again, like, if it could scout, I'd get it. You know, like, if it actually had the ability to, like, mark tanks for your team. But it's got no, it doesn't have scout, you know, it's not a scout. Can't do that. You can fire tracers at people, and then, you know, it scouts them that way, but usually if you do that, you better be hauling ass, because then they're gonna just fire back at you. I don't know if I can actually get over this way, but I've wanted to find out for a while now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's good to know. Alright, and Echidna, we're in the last 4 minutes, so yeah, we'll just go to that same way. And then that's the other piece, is that, you know, it's just getting kind of repetitive, right? You make the same runs over and over because you know them. You start to learn the choke points. You start to, you know, it's one map. It's a cool map. I mean, like, it's you know, it's not unfun, but it's also like, you know, there's an entire Mad Max game that was made for PlayStation. It's pretty good. Playing this makes me kind of want to play that. Crossout's pretty good. Making this makes me want to play that. So yeah, I think in the end, I see the potential. I wish they had put a more substantive reward at the end of this work. I know some people play for cosmetics, uh, but if you don't, you really get nothing out of this, other than the fun. And, you know, there's other games that are fun. So, like, yeah, yeah. I guess I just am glad I don't own, like, I don't have a stake in how this mode plays out because I'm not confident this is going to be a smashing success. Um, like, yeah, even if they like had let us, more uniquely upgrade the vehicles, like made it more like cross help, maybe that would be more fun. Let us pick particular gear to put on them. Let us pick the size of the gun when you upgrade the thing. I don't know what that would look like, but Um, all right, so I'm gonna let these guys get a little closer to the exit, hopefully, or I'm gonna run by and um, okay. I see some loot up here, and I know there's a bunch of blasted up tanks that I keep calling them tanks. Tanks is not the right nomenclature. And I got, oh shit. I'm gonna let that guy go. Good on him. Like I said, there's not really a lot of incentive to need to murk people unless you're really going for like blood tokens or rage tokens or whatever the fuck they're called now. Which I'm not. I'm not at that point where I need them. They happen pretty consistently just from you having to fight people who are fighting people. It's funny. It's like when I played World of Warcraft back in the day. I never really understood the PvP elements of a game. Oh, look at I went all that way when really it was right there the whole time. I never really understood in a game where you're trying to increase your progression why anyone would engage in fighting anyone else. It's like counter to both your interests, especially when you don't. At least here you get something from killing someone else. But all right, let's see if we got enough stuff to upgrade something, and then you can just kind of see how that goes. So, still, what do we need? Scrap metal, huh? Scrap metal. No, don't do that. Armor parts. Okay, so we're gonna upgrade this guy because we got apparently enough armor. So now when we go into Echidna, we'll have the option to select a more upgraded version. So yeah, that's basically how upgrading works. It's not anything fancy. Here's where you need those rage tokens. So I need to kill 2 more people, get 12 more scrap and 5 more armor, and then I can get the reptile. And then I'd need to kill 40 more people, and then I need to kill 50 more people, and then I kill 60 more people, and then I can get the vehicle that lets me haul loot away faster. Like, this is the vehicle where if I could upgrade anything first, I'd upgrade this first, because it's the thing that lets you do the main core gameplay loop more effectively. They're clearly aware of that, But then I don't know why you put it at the end when it will be absolutely useless to anyone. Because all these, they hold like 40, I think. Like if you go down here, you can see how much loot capacity they have: 25, 25, 25, 100. The boar's got 40 or 50 depending on which version of it. Porcupine 25. So like everything's 25 except the boar and then the mule. But why is the thing that lets you loot the best at the end when you're done trying to get shit to loot? Like this thing, you need blood tokens. Like, why are rage tokens? Why am I going to kill 100 people to get a loading screen? Why am I going to kill 150 more people to get loot carrier, which ironically does not require you to carry loot? I mean, I guess it requires you to carry enough loot to get this truck. So, okay, you will have carried a lot of loot by then. But yeah, it's just I don't get it. I don't understand it. Or maybe I get it and I understand it, but I don't like it, and I don't really have a lot of goodwill towards it. So yeah, so that's it. That's the April Fools. All right, I think we'll just play a little bit of regular, maybe a round or two of that, and then or maybe just a match, and then I'm gonna hop off. But yeah, I wanted to go through that. On our regular journey here, we are leveling up. I did switch to get the next leopard as my goal, because I've got a thing where I need a top tier tank. And so I think if I can unlock that, that'll give me the top tier tank, which will let me play up towards it. Plus, I'm playing 11 because I like having the tornado in the rotation. So because I've got the BR11 tornado, I can go out and go for a top tier tank without really needing to worry about it. Did they redesign this map? I don't remember that piece being there. Maybe I just normally spawn in a different place. This all looks familiar though, but I just don't remember that big brick there. But I usually don't fight on this portion of the map when it's the larger version of it. All right, let's get our drone up.
Air 320, 400 meters. Need cover. Recon reports enemy spotted. Enemy forces have captured a zone. Recon reports enemy spotted. Air 290, 300 meters. Recon reports enemy spotted. ¡Ataque de artillería! ¡Coordenadas! ¡Bravo! 5! ¡Destruir! ¡Bravo! 5! ¡Reconocido! ¡Disparen! The Allied forces have captured a zone.
was an interesting choice for a helicopter. I feel like he saw himself in an action movie. Like he was like, yeah, I'm going to do that cool thing where the helicopter hovers in front of the protagonist to scare them. It's like, it's not really scary when they've got cannons and can shoot you back just as easily, so. Alright, I am the light tank, so I will scout ahead, sir. You sit back and comfortably watch. My back, that is. Nope, don't. Please do not feel like you need to move up. You do not need to move up, sir. Fuck. I was hoping to get his lower glacis plate, and I missed because I bumped. I hit a bump. He did the nice thing of showing it to me. He just said, "Ooh, look at here. I've got a little thing to show you." And I mean, what do? You take the show and they show it to you.
Artillerieschlag auf Koordinaten. Echo 4. Zerschlagen. Echo 4. Bestätige Koordinaten. Aufgepasst. Abgefeuert. Flieger! 12 Uhr! Flieger, 1 Uhr. Entfernung, 600 Meter. Ja. Adler in der Luft. Kraftfahrer, vorwärts, Marsch!
Alright, let's get this out of the way. Let's get our Ocelot timeout. I feel like that's the air that was firing missiles. Might be a Predator drone, but they're usually moving a little faster than that thing is.
Flieger, 5 Uhr.
Very frustrating, that. Because, you know, we got teammates who are in the air as well, coming from the exact same direction. Really? You're not going to lock on that, huh? Even though I'm pointing right at him.
Flieger. 11 Uhr. Entfernung 1200 Meter.
Well, you know what? That felt pretty good. I think that'll be my my last match there. But thanks for joining me for this special April Fools, and thanks for your indulgence as I failed to stream yesterday. But you know, it's Easter. You'll spend time with the family. All right. Well, I hope to see you tomorrow. You have a wonderful night, and you know, don't let the War Thunder get you down. Okay. Bye.